Yo, what is up? Welcome to the video. I'm going to make this intro as quick as humanly possible. So, in the upcoming clips, what you're going to see is about 20 or 30 minutes of different segments from a coaching call I recently had with a client of mine. It was super impactful. I thought there's a lot of stuff that you can take out of it that could apply to your life or to your daily situation. So, wanted to share that with you. Hope you get a lot out of it. Let me know what you think about it. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next clip. Bye.
In the past 2 or 3 weeks since we last spoke, how many outreaches, I guess, total did you do?
Very little. I did more hours practicing copy than outreaching. So, and maybe it's kind of hard to get agencies that speak in Spanish. So that's something that it's slowly going. It's not that fast. It's kind of slow, that process.
So I will say about the agency thing, do they have to speak Spanish? Like, why not English speaking agencies?
I guess it's just because I feel more comfortable, but it doesn't mean that I can't do it. It's just maybe a limiting belief.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it might be more of a limiting belief than anything. I sense that your copy's probably good enough that an English speaking agency would definitely hire you. So I mean, I wouldn't let that hold you back. As far as the phone thing, I guess I'll say this: in the past several weeks, you said you haven't been doing the planner as much. How many times have you done it?
This week I did more. I did it more than the last 3. You were about to say something.
Oh, so yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I would say this because I mean, it sounds like this is just what I'm kind of getting from what you said. It feels like you're trying to be productive, and you are practicing copy, which is good. That's great, but I feel like you're using the practicing copy almost like an excuse to not actually achieve the main thing. And the main thing, it sounds like, is to get the clients. Does that sound
Yeah.
right? So I mean, I would say this, like, just as a general action step, maybe for like the next time we do this call, just abandon everything. Like, don't even do the planner. Abandon everything. And but abandon copy practice too. Don't even do copy practice. No books, no copy practice. Make the only thing you do, like the only goal you do, up until the next time we talk, outreach. That's it. Because that's the thing that's going to help you get your goal. But if you just practice copy infinitely, that's fantastic. And you might be the most skilled copywriter on the planet by the time you finish practicing. But the issue is that no one's going to know that you're the greatest copywriter on the planet because you're not outreaching to any agencies. So no one's going to find you. It's like being the best artist that won't share his art. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes sense.
So like
It's very funny to think about that. To eliminate everything but outreach. That's very funny.
I mean, I think to me that's the best strategy. I mean, because if you just practice copy, that's great,
Could be.
but no one's gonna see it, so it almost like defeats the purpose of practicing.
Yeah. It's. I get that. I get that. So.
I
Yeah.
I am curious I guess, what do you usually think when you do go to practice copy? Like, I'm sorry, not practice copy. When you go to do outreach, like I imagine at some point during the week or during the day, you get the thought, I should do outreach. But I imagine, like, once you get that thought, something in your head also says, let me do this first, or let me do it in like 10 minutes or an hour. And then as the day progresses, it never actually happens. So like what usually kind of pops into your head?
That's a very good question, because I had the thought today of because I planned it today to outreach and Upwork, and every time that I had to do it, I had something else to do it first, right? So it kind of was like,
Give me an example. You said.
and the thing is, I planned to do my client work first, but I didn't do it at that hour, and I did it then later, and then later. And by the time when it was time to do the up work, I haven't done the client work first. So I have the client work due, and I just finished my client work like at 6 p.m. But not because it was too long, just because I was postponing it. Maybe client work is something that I can do later, and Upwork, which is harder to do. I think Upwork for me is harder to do. To start doing it, like the act of beginning to do it, it's harder than it is to start writing copy for my agency clients, because I can write copy at whatever hour of the day. But Upwork, like you have maybe earlier. So that's like the first thing that I should try is to doing Upwork first, and then client work, which is the thing that it's giving me to pay the bills. So the first type of job that I do in the first thing in my day is growth work. So doing the things that will provide me growth later on, and then after the growth work, I do the maintenance work. So it's the thing that maintain my current lifestyle and systems and pay my bills. Maintenance work is easier to do because it's just maintenance. But building and growing, it's harder. So that's like the first thing that we have to do first thing in the morning before anything else comes up. That's like what I'm thinking about right now that I could try.
I'm gonna challenge you a little bit. Let me, I guess, know. First of all, when do you usually wake up?
6:30 a.m.
6:30. And
Yeah.
then from 6:30 until let's say 8:30, what do you usually do?
Exercise, and starting to practice copy.
Okay, all right. And then, I want to go through the whole day because I want to see like where the gaps are and like how we can fix this. So like 8:30 until
Okay.
and let's say 8:30 until 10. What are you doing during that time?
Still practicing.
Okay.
It's like 2 hours. So 6:30 to 7, it's like getting dressed and everything. 7 to 8 is like exercise or walking around. And then from 8 to 10, which is 2 hours, is watching a video on copywriting and practicing the concepts. Then I eat at like 11 a.m.
Okay. And then from like 12 until 1, what's happening then?
Nothing. I have nothing planned. That's like free time.
Okay.
I can do whatever I want. Plan if I plan to do something or do client work, it should start there in theory.
Like from 11, you said around 11
Like-
you eat, and then from 12 to 1, you're taking a break. So like after 1, like how long does the break last? Does it last until like 1 on the dot? Does it last till 2? Does it kind of just depend?
When you breakfast, don't you like have low energy or do you feel lethargic?
No, so I don't eat breakfast usually. Yeah, I usually fast. I don't feel lethargic afterwards, but even when I do, I still have my routine and my habit. So I still work no matter what, which is kind of what I'm getting to with the schedule. Because I feel like even if you feel lethargic and sleepy, if you make outreach or whatever it is you need to do a habit, you'll still get it done. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like
Getting it done is getting it done, no matter how you feel.
yeah,
You can do however you feel.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to take it to the extreme. Like obviously if you're like completely mentally fatigued and it's been a really rough week and it's Friday and it's just been a horrible week and you're just not feeling it, I'm not one of those people that think you need to like push yourself over the edge to really get work done. Because I think there's a balance between quality work and getting work done. But I think if it's like the morning and say you eat breakfast and you might feel a little bit foggy headed or whatever, I don't know if that's a good enough reason to not do any work. I think personally what I would recommend is at least start to do something. Not copywriting practice. Like reach out. Like the main thing you should be doing, just start doing it. Even if it takes you like
first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, so me personally, if I could like choose your schedule, me personally, I would say the first thing I would do if I were you is probably wake up and exercise, and I would do that for like half an hour to an hour max. Like half an hour to an hour max. And then immediately afterwards, I would probably just jump right into outreach. That'd be the first thing I do. I wouldn't even no copywriting practice. I wouldn't even probably put on a YouTube video. I'd probably just maybe listen to some light music and just do outreach until I get maybe an hour or 2 hours done.
Yeah.
That's what I would recommend. And then once you do the outreach, once you do like an hour or 2 hours, or maybe if it's a quantity thing, if you want to get like 10 outreaches done, once you do that, then you move on to the other stuff, like the client work that you might already have, because you have to get that done for money. Then you do that. And then once you finish the client work, which how long does client work usually take you on average each day?
If I focus like 1 hour.
1 hour? Okay, yeah. So yeah, I would do the client work for like an hour, like right afterwards. I would take like a short break, 15 minutes, maybe half an hour max. Then hop right into the client work. And after that hour, I mean, we're talking 6:30 to 7:30 you've exercised. By 7:30 to 8:30 or say 9:30, you've done outreach. And by 9:30 to 10:30, let's just say 11, just in case, you've done client work. So you've done everything that you needed to do to not feel guilty and to move towards your goal. And it's not even 12 p.m. So then you can have breakfast if you want. And then if you really wanted to, you can take the whole day off and do whatever you want. You can practice copy for 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever you want to do. You can play video games, hang out, whatever you want to do in your free time, you can do, because you've already done the main 3 things that you need to do every single day. But I think what I would probably do, though, is I would definitely order them in a certain way. I wouldn't put the things you like the most first. I'd put the things you don't like to do first, because those are the things that matter the most. And then once you get done the things you don't like to do, then you reward yourself by doing the things that are easier.
Upwork.
What's that?
Upwork is the least that I enjoy.
So Upwork should be like the first thing. It should be like the top of the list. And then once you get that done, you reward yourself.
For 2 reasons. Because it's hard to do. It should be first because it's harder to do, and it's the thing that grows the most.
Exactly.
Myself.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's the thing that's hardest to do, but it's also the thing that's going to lead to the most long-term results. Which is why you should do it first. Have you heard of like the idea of eating the frog?
Yeah.
That's what it is right there. You got to eat the frog when you first wake up. It tastes like shit.
Yeah. Or else. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I would say like my recommendation for this upcoming week is to, at the very least, like, I would start to try to make it a habit of just doing your outreach, and at least like 3 times a week. I would say this upcoming week, and I'm gonna check in to see if you're getting it done. I would say at least 3 times a week, or 3 times next week. Do like an hour of outreach. Like, don't kill yourself. Don't worry about how many you outreach to. Like, if you do like outreach to 3 agencies the entire week, then fine. If it takes you an hour per agency to reach out, then that's fine. But I would do at least like 1 hour for 3 different days. Does that make sense? So like 3 hours total over the next week.
Yeah, and I don't know if I should wake up earlier or something.
No, I mean, I don't think I'd recommend it. 6:30 I think is a perfectly early enough time, unless you think there's a good reason to wake up earlier. But I wouldn't sacrifice sleep or like try to change your whole routine. I'll say this: I know from
Nice.
personal experience years ago, that like maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, there was this big thing where like entrepreneurs would always say like you have to wake up at 5. I don't know if it was Gary Vee. I don't know who started that, but they would always say you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And you got to grind, you got to hustle. Which to be honest, I do wake up early, but I wake up early for different reasons. If you wake up at 5, or if you wake up at 2 p.m., it doesn't really matter. The thing that matters the most is just the output. Like, are you getting work done? Like, if you get up at 5 a.m. and you procrastinate until 7 p.m., then it's no different than you waking up at 2 p.m. and procrastinating until 7 p.m. anyway. It's like, either way, you're still starting your work at 7 p.m. or whatever. It doesn't really make a difference.
All right, so I hope you get a lot out of that coaching call. Like I said, the normal actual coaching calls are about 60 minutes, about 45 minutes to 60 minutes, and we spend the entire time going through your problems, your goals, and how you can use time management to effectively solve them. So if you're interested in getting a free coaching call, there's a link below. You can just click the link. It'll take you to Calendly. You can sign up right there. You'll get a one-on-one coaching call with me personally. We're going to go over all of your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, and how you can get there in the most direct way as possible and the most stress-free way as possible by utilizing more effective time management. So hope to see you soon. Like I said, if you're interested, click the link below for a free session. It'll be right down there. It's a Calendly link, and I hope to see you soon. Peace out.